Step in the box, baseball fans. Welcome back to another episode of Batter Up. It's been forever. What's happening, John and Nick?
Not much, Brett. I am doing well on this Saturday night. It is hard to believe it's fall. I guess it's officially fall, right? It's September 21st today. First day of fall. The colors are changing. Football season's here. Baseball playoffs right around the corner. And that's why we brought Nick in to talk about the MLB playoffs, amongst other things, including logo, Fractor, and update. But Nick, how are you doing on this evening?
I'm doing really well. I'm so happy to be back on the show and linking up with you guys. I feel like a lot has, taken place since the last time we went live. And like you said, it's such an exciting time with baseball. Only 7 games left in the season, wherever it may be, and all the excitement surrounding it. And then it's also coinciding with all these huge releases, like you just said, Topps Chrome logo Fractor. If you're lucky to get the Sapphire releases, and then obviously the long-awaited update that's coming down the pipeline, I think is going to be a huge release that's going to just be a tremendous amount of fun to open. There's just so many different talking points around all these things. So I'm really happy to jump on with you guys.
Yeah, I echo those thoughts 100%. Somebody had a comment about being a Mets fan. I guess I've not paid attention to the standings. I know the Brewers clinched a playoff spot. I saw the Churio celebration the other day, so that was pretty cool. But are the Mets in the playoffs or close?
As of now, the Mets are red hot. They have a 2-game lead on the Braves for the third place wild card spot. And I believe they're also tied with the Diamondbacks. So it goes Padres and then Mets and Diamondbacks. The Mets have 2 games up on the Braves, but the Mets have a huge series coming up against the Braves, which is obviously huge. And then they got to play the Brewers, who are tough. But they just had a huge win against the Phillies today, 6-3. They took the series 2-1 against the Phillies, who are extremely tough. Francisco Lindor went down a few days ago, and it seemed like all of a sudden all this momentum and magic was just going to just vanish. But then up comes Luis Angel Acuna, and he just starts raking like a fall weekend. I mean, there's leaves everywhere, and he's just knocking balls out of the park like there's no tomorrow. He's so poised and calm and cool and collected, and you would have thought he's been in the league for 4 years already. He's been a godsend, and they're all just playing well together, and they're all, kind of buying into the process, and they're all they just get along really well, good chemistry, and they're playing well. So it's an exciting time.
Every time I look up on Home Run Report, Acuna's hitting a bomb, and I'm like, oh man, that's is he 3 or 4 now?
Yeah, I think it's 3 in like 24 at-bats, 25 at-bats, but I mean,
solid.
Yeah, it's great.
Where's his rookie going to come out? Probably Series 1 next year, I assume?
I would imagine.
Keep your eye on that, I suppose. Although they're going to print a lot of it.
Yeah, that's true. Series 1 is tough.
Always tough, right?
Yeah.
So before we go too far, It's been a long time, and we've all been at various places with opening the hobby, whatever. What are your thoughts on the hobby right now in terms of prices, products, selling, buying? How are you guys feeling right now?
You want to take that one first, Nick?
Yeah, I mean, it seems like there's a lot of really high-end releases that are kind of taking the main stage, and it seems like it's starting to get to the point where a lot of these boxes are virtually unaffordable, or you have very slim chances of making your money back. And it's getting to the point where, average collectors can't really open what they used to open, or really open anything at all sometimes, or in some cases. And now it's getting to the point where even like the most desirable products, you have to get into a lottery system just to have a chance to get the product. And it's turning out that a lot of the breakers are just getting the stuff, and it's just getting to be a little bit too much. So, I mean, I've been trying to pick and choose my battles. I know Logo Fractor is a high-end release, but I wanted to make it a point to get some of that, make a big splash. So I did skip out on some other releases to get some logo Fractor, but like it's so much money, man. And if you're not like turning and flipping cards and like selling cards like constantly, or like it's hard to just keep buying boxes. It's just virtually unaffordable. And but obviously there's no shortage of exciting players or chaseable rookies in the league. So there is a reason why these boxes are expensive, but it just makes it tough for like average collectors to kind of, you know, get their fair chunk of the apple, I guess, if you will. But that's just kind of my 2 cents.
Yeah, no, good thoughts. I think I won't double back on the same things you mentioned, because I think I would echo most of those sentiments. But one thing, when you said, what do I think about the hobby right now, Brett, I did write down some things I want to talk about. I guess I can just talk about them and how I feel it fits into the hobby right now. I've seen a lot of content from people lately about talking about gambling in the hobby, especially around these chase cards with Curry, the triple auto card from the Olympics, the Otani 50-50, which is a momentous moment. But it just seems like Topps is taking a page out of a gambler's playbook of not offering you to buy the card, but rather have a chance of winning the card. And I that's fine. If you want to play that, that's fine. At least you're getting something for your money, even though it's like $12 to buy the card. Now, you don't have to buy the card. You can use your points. If many people who don't know already, when you buy products on Topps.com, you can use your points. There's a place where you go that says redeem points, and you can put $40 or $100 in your kitty and then use that code to buy Topps Now cards. So you never have to actually pay for them. I hope people know that. I've always found that helpful when it comes to chasing any Topps Now cards. But with that being said, opening product enough was gambling. Now you're taking gambles around Topps Now cards. Where does it ever end, especially when it involves kids? So I think that's something we got to keep an eye out on. And that's just going to bring in regulation in the long run. That's probably okay, because it'll keep people honest, and they'll have to publish odds in perpetuity, or at least be honest about what the consumer is getting for their financial offering. However, what do I think about the hobby? So I just kind of went down a rabbit hole there, talking about how Topps Now and gambling is becoming more prevalent. And the thing about the hobby for me, I still have found ways to buy cards I like, to buy players I enjoy watching, to buy players I enjoy speculating on, who I think, when the history books are written, they might be the best players in their team history. And I'm okay to spend my money on that. And that makes the hobby fun for me if I just stay away from all the noise of this product, that product, trying to keep up with the Joneses, trying to go after the $8,000 Wemby box that I don't know who can afford that. Like, that's just the stratosphere. Like, that's like a box of Transcendent. I mean, it's insane. So, but you can still find a way to have fun. And that's where I'm at, is just trying to find ways to have fun within a financial range that I feel okay with. If I buy the hoops, haunted hoops, which I bought a couple for my wife and I to have fun. She likes basketball cards. $20 a box. I didn't care if we lost the $20. I really didn't. But it was a fun opening. And maybe it was for kids. Maybe it's meant to be a Halloween giveaway. Fair enough. But it was fun. And that sort of thing I enjoy. So I would like to do more of that. That will make the hobby fun. People can gamble. That's fine. But I'm just going to stay in my lane and let the noise around me not bother me. So,
yeah, I'm not going to double down on your guys' stuff, but for me personally, the year started off all right, where Series 1's prices weren't that bad. Bowman prices, I got blaster box cases for $1,000. That's very reasonable in my opinion. I got hanger boxes of Series 2 for a very good price from from a local hobby shop. And then all of a sudden it's like these prices are insane. A Bowman Chrome hobby boxes, Bowman Chrome mega boxes. I know they're 45, but for what the product is, they're not worth it. And it's just what really breaks my heart is like Topps Chrome. That really like put a dagger in me this summer. Like this is not worth opening. And if John can find it, or if I can find it, go right from Nat Turner's video on PSA. He goes, I shouldn't say this, but you shouldn't be opening up product right now, guys. And I know that. And you got to pick and choose. There's still an update coming up. We're going to talk about update tonight. The prices on Topps website, I actually thought they were going to raise the prices this year, and they're very reasonable on the pre-order. So I've been kind of burnt out on, I just put my foot in the sand saying, I'm not buying Topps Chrome blasters for $40 plus tax with a checklist like that. Now, I'm on the fence with Nick where I was fortunate enough. We'll get to this. I had this topic too about logo Fractor, because I had my phone set for the notifications of the MLB New York City because I knew it was coming, and it happened at the perfect time, and I bought 3 cases, but I don't plan on opening all 3. I think I'm going to sell 2 to try to get a lot of money back. That's just people might not like that comment, but it's a way to $110 a box is a lot of freaking money, man. And if I can offset that and get a case down to about $75 a box, I'd be okay with that. But I'm not just going to willingly just throw cash and cash and cash at a hobby of overpriced stuff. And even right from Nat Turner's mouth, he said it best. You shouldn't be opening products. You should be buying singles. And there are a couple products that are still worth opening. I think update coming up. I looked at the checklist, or not the checklist, but the odds. Mello sent me some odds, and then I pulled them up. And a gold pull is like 1 out of 5 on hanger boxes, similar to 2022 update. So
2022
I'm happy
is 1
to
and
see
3.
that.
It's a little worse, but not bad. I can tolerate that. I think 2022 was 1 and 3. 2023 was 1 and 4 or 1 and 5. So it's about the same as last year. Little, pretty similar, probably in the margins. I think when they publish whole odds, but it's probably like a fraction. So it's like 1 and 4.5, but they're not going to put that. So you never know. But yeah, I think I could have had a logo Fractor case too, but I didn't buy any. I skipped it, and then it was gone. So that's fine. It was my loss. Was it a bad decision? I don't know. I have my son going into college. He's at college right now, so I had that on my mind. I had some other issues on my mind. We're not going to go there during the live. That's for another day. And so I just didn't feel like I could do it at the time. So I ended up looking like you, Brett, at the odds for update, and I was curious about Paul Skeens being in the checklist. It's great that he is. Now he's a pitcher, but he's a special pitcher. He's a one-of-a-kind pitcher. They don't come along very often. But then again, neither did Steven Strasburg. Neither did Kerry Wood. Neither did – I mean, the list goes on and on of guys. Mark Pryor, you're a Cubs fan. A lot of these guys, they tend to not be doing so well down the road because injuries happen. But let's assume he has a solid upcoming season. It's going to be fun to go chase cards, get them graded, and sell the Paul Skeens cards, because that's probably what you're going to end up doing. You're not going to keep them. You're going to sell them, unless you want to keep them. But a yellow Paul Skeens out of a hanger box is going to look mighty, mighty fine.
Yeah, sell the hype, baby. Sell the hype. So let's go down this list. I had a list of products that have come out, and it's been a long time since we've been on, but like we've been talking about logo Fractor a little bit. Have you guys seen any logo Fractor being open? It was $110. It went for sale. I know people don't like the idea of the MLB store having a call, but you want to know something? I'm 0 for 4 or 0 for 5 on the EQL on Topps website, and I'm 1 for 1 on. Well, I'm actually 3 for 3 on logo Fractor, calling the freaking store. I would rather compete with the bots on Topps website. That's another story. I did better against the bots than I have this EQL entry. But Logo Fractor, have you guys seen any open?
I've seen like some people like posting their hits on like Twitter and I think I saw one break on YouTube, and I mean the cards look amazing as always. I like with like Logo Fractor how you're pretty much guaranteed to get a numbered card or refractor in each of those two mega box packs.
Mhm.
And I know those are the only two like chase things of the box, but I like how they add all the special rookie variations, and you can get Trout autos, you can get Otani autos, you could also get the premier rookie auto, like Jackson Merrill or Jackson Churio or someone like that, and the cards look really nice. So I did order a case. It costs an arm and a leg, but it's gonna. I only opened like 4 or 5 boxes last year, and I kind of was bummed I didn't get more. And the cards look really nice, so I'm excited for Logo Fractor. Yeah.
Yeah, I think the cards look great. I think the fact that you pull, I think on average, I was seeing about 3 numbered cards per box. Some boxes had 2, most had 3. They did add a couple more parallels this year. I don't remember a teal from last year, but then again, I remember a pink last year, and they didn't have a pink this year. I don't remember what the pink was numbered out of. And the autos seem to come out about 1 every 6 boxes. I saw a couple cases opened. I think Cheap Fun Breaks, Houdini.
Yep.
Is that what he goes by?
Yep.
He opened a case. I think he got 3 autos, including a Trout number to 10, which was pretty incredible. On almost like a last pack magic kind of thing. That was pretty cool. I've seen another case open where it was chock full of hits, but they weren't that great. 200 card checklist versus last year's 110. There's a lot more players in it, but you probably will get more autos, and they're all on card than you did last year. And they seem to be all a lot more good vets and rookies. So I think that's better. I missed out on it. Like I said, I'm not discouraged by it, but it sure would have been fun to open a case of Logo Fractor. If the price was not $110 a box and it was more about like $79 a box, $80 a box, I probably would have bought a case.
Yeah, dude, that was a hard decision.
It's a
I
hard
was like,
decision.
so
Yeah.
long story short, I got in, I called like immediately. I think I was one of the first people to call and get in there. Like, I mean, immediately when that thing went off, and left a message because I knew how to do it. And it was the same as they had. And they called me back during my lunch period that day. So it was only an hour and a half later. And the person on the phone goes, hello, Mr. Comensoli. Are you interested in Logo Fractor? And I said, yeah. I'm like, how much? And they're like, 110. I was like, holy crap. He goes, I go, what's the limit? Because if they were going to say 1 or 2 boxes, I wasn't going to buy, because with the shipping, it's just like, he goes, you can get unlimited, any amount you want. And I'm like, he goes, they come in 20 a case this year. So 20 boxes a case this year. Used to be 40. And I sat there and was like, my coworkers were listening because we're on lunch. And I'm like, I was doing the math in my head. And I'm like, all right, the worst case scenario, I buy 3 cases and I break even. And if you make $20 a box, that's $800 you can throw at the case you bought. That was my math, like right there, right, just in the spur of the moment. I'm like, okay, give me 3, because I didn't have the balls to go for more, and I might be a bad decision in the long run, but sometimes, man, that's a lot of money,
Yeah.
But that process is, again, better than EQL on tops. That EQL, man, I don't know anybody who's gotten cases from that.
I don't know anybody who's gotten cases. I know a couple of people have gotten single boxes. I'm 0 for 4. I've tried.
Yeah, I'm shut out as well.
I'm shut out. They keep telling me my odds are improving, but somehow I don't believe them.
Anyone in the chat get anything off tops from the EQL? I would like to know that. We got 50 people watching. Okay, so Logo Fractor. Next one. 2024 Topps Chrome Sapphire. I opened a box last night. It might have been a dud box, but I tell you what, I believe they've overhauled it. Just having the on-card autograph again makes those boxes way better, and the amount of color that are in there. I don't think it's a terrible product. At $350, it's a tough. I've seen some stellar boxes, but it's expensive, just like everything else.
Yeah, I agree, Brett. Like you said, I think the guaranteed autograph per box is a game changer, because I remember last year, I think it was like 2 parallels per box, and sure, the checklist was a little smaller, but you weren't really getting much out of it. At least this year, like, you're getting a lot of color and you're guaranteed the autograph, which is kind of a nice little addition. But it is a huge gamble. It's a huge risk. If you don't get it for the price, if you don't win, like if you're not part of the Montgomery Club or you're not getting it for $350, it's definitely not worth going and buying a box for $500 from Blowout Cards or David Adams. That's just complete like eyewash. Like you're just asking to get just destroyed. So the cards look incredible, and like I've seen some amazing hits, but you just got to kind of know what you're in for if that's your style.
Single boxes are selling from $475 to $500. Cases are bringing in well over $5K, $5,250, $5,500 to breakers. They're paying for the cases. So if you got them, I suggest you sell them. I mean, if you got them, sell them. Plain and simple.
Agreed.
What do you guys think about Bowman Chrome Sapphire then? I know you were kind of out on Bowman Chrome, and there is an interesting anecdote before you guys answer that question. I was listening to the Sports Card Nonsense podcast this morning, and Mike Gio said that this is the first time that he's had this happen this year, but the rebuys have come out on Bowman Chrome, and it's cheaper now than it was on release day.
Oh my God.
Just maybe not Bowman Chrome Sapphire, but I had Bowman Chrome on the list. And like, I mean, $280 a hobby box, $45 for the mega boxes, and it's sitting. And you're right. I had a hobby shop that I talked to recently said that they went from not being able to get any product, over to now they're able to get as much as they want and same prices, but as much as they want. And they believe that the breakers aren't able to sell it and that the price is too much.
The way I was going to say, the way I look at this, I think Topps and / Fanatics has been operating like a car dealership, where when you think about it, like a car dealership has a lot of inventory on the lot, right? And then they'll start to run deals to try to let some off the lot. And here's what I think happened on some products. They purposely don't sell all of the product to every single one of these places, even the consumers, because they want the price to go up. And then they'll sell it to you for more. The same thing they did with Topps Chrome Basketball. That was $270 on release day, and then it shot up all the way to like $600 a box. That's a bad product, but it had a lot of hype. And the way I look at it is now they're sitting on such a massive amount of inventory that they've made already. They have no choice but to offer people. Maybe they're not trying to lower the price, but they're trying to say, rather than us try and hold on to this and hold it so close to our chest to wait for the price to go up, you know what? You can have as much as you want, because we need to get this inventory off our books. We've made way too much. And because they can't play that game with every single product. It's just not logical. But then again, the David Adams and the Blowouts and the Steel City have probably been playing that game for years. And even the distributors have been playing that game for years. But now Fanatics is starting to realize that even great strategies like that somehow can fail from time to time, and you have to change course.
Yeah, when you keep adding these new products too on top of the products that are already being released, it's like people's pockets are only so deep that you're creating even more of a log jam on what you're trying to sell by doing all this mental gymnastics and trying to act like you only have so much of the product. You're really just fooling yourself. It's like we're not, like, us collectors aren't all like millionaires that can just shell out cash on like or buy a case of every new release, or it's just like it kind of compounds the problem. So I think that's another kind of like part of it. But yeah, it's I mean it's crazy.
So this week I had a chance to hit multiple targets just to see. I was in the area, stopped in, haven't bought anything. Went to Meijer, went to one Walmart. I was surprised to see so much products on the shelf. Saw Topps Chrome, even saw some Topps Chrome basketball blasters sitting there, and lots of football product too. And what's the retail like in your guys' area?
I think I went to Target for the first time in like months, like a couple weeks ago, and they had like these Topps Chrome blasters, and they were in like these like security like little like things. They were protected, like they were like these gold mine, like gold mines. And I'm just like shaking my head, like what are they thinking? And I'm just like $40 a blaster is the landscape that we're living in now. That's just like criminal. So I didn't buy any. And then when I went to Walmart a few weeks ago too, they were just chock full of product. Nobody was touching them, and I didn't think, for a second to buy any of it. I mean, it's gotten to the point where it's not worth it. It's not like the days where 2022 you get a blaster of update for $20 and change, or 23 Topps Chrome. You can't get the blasters. We lost Brett.
But, he's back.
Yeah.
Change positions.
Yeah, you can't go and find those like update hangers where you're gonna pull like a short print J-Rod anymore. It's just not doesn't make sense anymore. So I see product just sitting on the shelves forever, and I don't think that it's gonna change unless they change their prices or strategy or so.
Yeah, I went to I haven't gone to a Walmart in a while, since Alaska. I went to Target earlier this week, and they had about 20 Chrome basketball mega boxes on the shelf. I didn't touch any of them because if that product was halfway decent, I would have bought it. But then again, so would anybody else who was probably ahead of me. That's such a bad product. It's non-licensed to begin with, but the photos are terrible. I don't understand why anybody would want that product. Just go buy the Wemby card if that's what you want. You don't need to bother trying to pull the card, but it's just an awful product. And then I went to a Meijer today. I was looking for a birthday card for my wife, and I ended up in the card aisle. I didn't see any football on the shelf. I didn't see much basketball on the shelf, but I saw a lot of Chrome, and it was sitting there at the Chrome blasters for $40 a pop, and nobody was touching it. So I didn't buy anything. But one thing I did see missing was any composite football or any Chrome basketball. I don't know if that would show up at a Meijer or a Walmart, but if it did, it was wiped out. So the only thing they had baseball-wise was Chrome, and then a bunch of other non-licensed Donruss and a bunch of older products. So it was a full shelf, but it was a lot of bleh. So
yeah.
not buy anything.
When guys like us aren't buying, and a bunch of people in the chat, and like my boy Eddie, who is a football fanatic, he hasn't bought any football product within I'm trying to think of his last football product. It's been a while. People are shutting it down, and I think it's been a little slow to transition to these companies. And there's finally been a shift on the consumers that we're not going to put up with this crap much longer, and we want some value. And it's going to keep changing, We're going to see shelves full until they change. Hopefully. I hope people kind of dig their feet in the sand and bury in and say, we're not going to get screwed. We're not that stupid. We're addicts, but we're not that stupid.
There is one product that came out like a couple days ago that I completely whiffed on, and I don't even think you guys would go after it, but there was a Hoops Premium stock box that went up on Walmart.com for $130, right? So you say, wow, $130, that's crazy, right? It's essentially a hobby box. I've seen some openings. I completely whiffed on that one. I mean, these guys are pulling one of ones out of like every fifth box.
That's sick.
It's insane. Like I've seen so many good pulls so far. Like LeBron James numbered to 25. One guy got 3 of them in a single box.
Oh my God.
And I was like, how did nobody know that this was going to be good? I mean, if people knew it was going to be good, they would have bought it. $130, I was like, I'm not buying a retail product for $130. But then they watch it open and it's like, this is a hobby box. Why is this in retail? It doesn't make any sense.
It's so hard to know these days. That's the thing. There's so many crap products and then the one good one that comes out.
Yeah, it was just like there's been so many bad Topps basketball products. I mean, I know they've only released one, but they're about to release a lot more. And everybody's going after those, and everybody scoffed at the Hoops Premium. And I know it's Hoops, but every card is a scope pattern. Like, they're really nice looking cards, and the QC is not bad. But the hits coming out of them, like the one guy got every numbered card is numbered to 88 or less, and the guy got 7 numbered cards in a single box.
So that's a Topps product as well, John. Just like so there's no logos on those cards.
It's a Panini card.
So that's different. But that's like a double whammy. Because I was kind of like laughing at how like when Topps Composite Football or when Topps Chrome Basketball came out, all of a sudden people cared about these cards that didn't have logos. When these Panini baseball products were coming out, it's like nobody really cared about it. So it's basically just like, oh, it's a new shiny thing. It's the it must be valuable. But it's kind of funny how like people just automatically shift their perspective based on like the narrative. But that's crazy.
Yeah, I'm shocked how many people went just cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs over the Chrome hobby box of basketball when it was $600. It's just, I know there was a lottery ticket involved because of the Wemby bounty, but man, that is such a bad product.
Yeah.
Now that Wemby's been pulled, it's an even worse product, and the retail is just awful.
Yeah, I opened those 6 blasters. They were fun, but at least they were semi-cheap. Not like cheap, but semi. But you
at least got 2 De'Aaron Fox cards.
Yeah, and a couple autos, but a couple Wembys too. But
that's true.
I mean, it's definitely not good by any means.
It was not.
I can't imagine buying hobby boxes of that stuff.
I think some of the basketball products, if they get the photoshopping right, even though it's non-licensed, if they get some on-card autos of some good players, not for $8,000 a box, but some of these, if they can hit that $300 to $400 price point, they will have interest. But I don't know. I'm not liking where this is headed. As somebody who wanted Topps Chrome Basketball to come back in the worst way, I am not liking where this price point is going to be in 2 years. It's going to be exactly where the Panini Prism hobby box was.
It's
a really bad place to be for the consumer.
It's going up.
And really quick, good comment in the chat. My friend Nunzi said we can all slow down on buying, but as long as the breakers keep breaking, prices will never go down. And he's exactly right. Like, we could stop, but I mean, there's no slowing down on these whatnot streamers or these big breakers that have already, culminated these big loyal audiences. And now Fanatics Live and Fanatics Breakers doing these big, streams and breaks, and with the bounties, it's tough to break that trend and that habit of people just gambling on these breaks. So I mean, that's definitely a big driving point in the price. So I mean, I feel like every year, like, there have been like one product that I used to open that I can't open anymore. Like a few years ago, I stopped opening Draft, like Bowman Draft. That used to be a lot of fun to open. Like the next year, I just stopped opening Bowman Chrome, and then like, what's it going to be next? It's just like it's just ridiculous. So yeah, I'm with you guys. It's tough.
The one good thing I would say, just an observation, is breaks are still going, but they're definitely not on the rise. I think they've really plateaued out. I think some guys have had a hard time filling their breaks and have started to have to discount some stuff for the first time in a long time.
Yeah, that's a great point too.
I want to see more of that. I want to see some of what we, and I don't want any of my friends in the hobby who are, I know lots of great hobby shop owners who break, and I know people, but we need them to lose a few times like we do, and they'll stop buying that stuff and breaking it too. That's what we really need for the prices to level out.
Yeah,
100%, Brett.
Card Hunter Ziggy wants to know, is Logo Fractor still available? I don't believe it is.
I think it's sold out. They made a post.
It's sold out. Unfortunately, we if you didn't get in on that one, I think the first day and make a call, and even if you made a call after, because there was no limit to it, I think we have a friend, Stu, who called the same day but later that day, and he was offered one box. And you guys got 3 cases in 1 case each. I
was shocked, honestly.
I could have got as much as I wanted.
Yeah.
I called right away like Brett, and when they said there was no limit, I almost fell out of my chair. I was like, how much money do I have in my bank account? But then
I literally sat there for a minute, and I'm like, okay, I can pull out my Discover, I can pull out my Visa, and I can just max them out and not feel bad about it. But I was like, I don't want to do that. That's not why I'm in the hobby.
No,
yeah.
That's crazy. But let's move on to 2024 Topps update for a little bit. I got the Topps website up here.
We teased it in the promo.
They have on the website right now, $87.99 for a hobby box, $194.99 for a jumbo. This is actually a pretty good deal in my opinion. They have an update hobby box paired with a blaster box for $109.99. So that would put the blaster at $20. I think that's a pretty decent deal. So on the pre-order, so the price is there. I don't expect the retail price. I'm sure blasters will probably be $25. Hangers will probably be whatever they've been, $12.99, $14.99. I don't know what they were for Series 2 to start, but I'm excited for this product. It's got my boy Shota on the front, and then Yamamoto. Good looking cover of the box. And obviously, I mean, Nick, I haven't even looked at the checklist. I just looked at the odds. Skeens is going to be the big dude, but what other? I don't even know what other is Woods in there.
I don't think so. I was looking at the checklist earlier. I saw Wyatt Langford, Jackson Churio, Jackson Merrill, and Holiday. If I'm not mistaken, I'm pretty sure I saw Wyatt Langford. So yeah, Skeens, Langford, Churio, Merrill, Holiday. It's a pretty massive core of rookies there to kind of be the basis and knit foundation of the product. And then you also have the rookie debuts of Ellie De La Cruz, Jason Dominguez, where you can hit on those guys as well. And that kind of helps because they didn't really, crank up the print run through the stratosphere this year, or at least on this particular release. So I think that bodes well for opening this product relative to other products from this year. I mean, obviously you're not going to hit all the time, but you set yourself up for a better chance of getting at least, some decent guy. You got Camaro rookie debuts. So, I mean, you got a little bit of everything. So I think it'll be a really good product. I pre-ordered a case of jumbos. So I thought the price of jumbos were going to be $250 plus. So when I saw one sub 200, I was like, all right, I could stomach that and be okay with that. So I think it's going to be a really fun opening.
Yeah, I don't think those jumbos are too bad a price of what they've been. I really was expecting the worst. I was expecting jumbos to be $250 again, and even hobby boxes going up. I just the way things have been going, I figured they would go up.
Yeah.
I'm probably not going to buy any of the hobby or the jumbo. Not that I have anything against those products. I really just want a hanger case or two because I think you're going to be able to get those on Card Giants for usually your 20% or 25% discount. and so they might be like $750 for the case. That's probably not a terrible buy. I think the odds are fair. I did the numbers. You're going to get about like 55 parallels in a hanger case, and that excludes the yellows, which you add that on top. And if you get 2 yellows per box, or even 1, I don't remember if you get 2 or 1. I think it's probably 2. You're going to get a lot of parallels, a lot of bullets in the chamber to give you a chance to get a Skeens, a Holiday parallel, Ellie parallel, Chorio, Jackson Merrill, Wyatt Langford, Evan Carter, Jason Dominguez, Junior Caminero. The list goes on and on. It's got a lot of potential. So I think that's the way I'm going to play it. I don't know about Chrome Update. I don't know about that. That's probably going to be expensive again, like it was last year. But then the rookie debut patches showed up in that product and may again this year. And gosh, if it has the right rookies, that could be another chase element to that. I know they're going to be extremely impossible to get. Try to get the Ellie De La Cruz, rookie debut. I don't think it came out last year, so it's going to be in this year's product if it's in that same product. That's still available everywhere, by the way. You can still buy those products on Card Giants for under retail price. So they just printed way too much of it. And then the last thing when it comes to Chrome Update, the Chrome Update Sapphire boxes, which are usually really good. I think I'd be have my eye out for that. Yeah. Is that one you pulled out of a Chrome Update Sapphire box?
Yeah.
Yeah, those are usually pretty juicy. I remember last year I only bought one and I opened it. It was really good. So
yeah, that product's fire. My thoughts on Update. I'm looking forward to Striker's breakdown of the value buy. I actually think it's going to be similar to Series 2, where all formats are pretty good. I'm not against any of these. I think that's a good buy that Nick got on that. I consider that as well. Both cases, jumbo or hobby, they're both good buys. But I'm like John, if you can get a hanger case for $750 or less, that's $12 a box. And I can't stress this enough for anybody watching. I should clip this. I'm going to say it year in and year out. Buy Update as fast as you can. Open it. Complete those sets as fast as you can and get them on eBay or take them to your hobby shops. Trade them in. Sell them. Because right away, those sets are going to be going for $35, $40. Every year, it's like that. The only way you can get a Update complete set is to hand collate them. That's why Update, in my opinion, has more value than the other ones, because you can't go back and buy a sealed set for $60. The collectors are still collecting complete sets of base, but you've got to turn and burn. You got to work fast. You got to open fast. After a month, those prices start to go down, and they'll be $20 a set by Christmas. So get it done ASAP.
I'm still selling sets of Update flagship from the 2021 case that I opened, and the 2022 product, and 2023. So I'm still selling through them. They are still selling. It's slow, but I have the inventory and I am selling it. So you're absolutely right. I forgot to mention that if you do it right away, you can get about half your case value back just by the total number of sets you get. So that is a really fair point, and that may make me want to buy 3 cases. I don't know.
Dude, guys, it's a ton of work. It is. Like, I don't think most people understand what I'm talking about, though. Like, there's been years in 2022, man. My Thanksgiving, I spent like literally a full day. Now, I didn't do them all at once, but like 3 hours here, 3 hours here. Just sorting, making sets, and man, it was a lot of work, but it paid off because I opened so many hangers that year. That's the most product I've ever opened of one product, and I put in the work. But even one case of hangers to go sort that is going to take you, if you're not good at sorting, that's going to take you 3 or 4 hours. I think I can get usually one case of hangers done in about an hour and a half. I just have my system and my sorting tray, and I know how I want to do it because I've done it so many times. But when you're just first getting started, if you don't have that, that rhythm going. It's an art to sort cards. It really is. I've lost the grind though.
Yeah.
How many sets can you usually whip up from like one hanger case usually, or does it depend on like the collation of your case?
I think it was like 6 to 8 depending on the collation.
Wow.
It
So you
could
could
be
really
as
make
many
that.
as 8, and I think 6 is a minimum. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
So that's really worthwhile. I mean,
you know, let's say you get 6 and you sell, there's $240 back. Pays for a big chunk of your case of just the base cards.
yeah, like stuff you
and,
would just like throw to the wayside otherwise. So
and then you look at those yellow parallels. That was a nice addition this year. Those yellow parallels, those 2 per. It was a 2 or 4.
2.
2. I mean, those people collect those guys. Even the most common guys, you're getting 50 cents to $1 because people want the team sets of those guys. People are putting together the complete sets of those. And then obviously the big guys are going to pull more of a premium. But that nickel and dime stuff, that's a nice. And then there's some nice hits coming out of there. I go back and kind of think about Series 2 that opened this year. Those couple cases I opened for the price I did, I was very happy with those. I got those boxes for $9.50 a piece. There was some really cool hits in there. Yeah, I didn't hit the biggest names, but it was still, to me, it's about the fun. And I'm not spending freaking $2,000, $4,000 for a case, right? Like
right.
Topps Chrome, you're going out there. I mean, $1,600 for a case of Topps Chrome. And the quality control is complete trash of Chrome this year. It's bad. It's worse than I thought. We haven't really talked about that. But I looked up at the PSA, the grading. The amount of cards that haven't been graded from Chrome this year, it's way low. Go and look at the pop report on that. I don't have it up. I did that about 2 weeks ago. But the quality control of number of 10s of all the cards submitted, I think it was like 53%. That's bad, man. And that's people trying to get 10s. You know? Like that isn't just people subbing every card they get like they used to. It's people that are like, I want to put in Ellie De La Cruz refractors to get 10s, and they're not getting 10s.
Yeah, those are the ones that passed the eye test, and those aren't just So that's even more of a small fraction. You're right. I opened a case of hobby, and I was upset that probably half the big hits that I pulled I couldn't send off. I mean, I was fortunate some of the bigger hits I did send off, but it's disappointing when you spend all that money and you do hit a nice card and then it's got 2 print lines, or it's got even worse, a nail mark. I've had a lot of times this year, and it's like a nail mark. How does that happen? Like, I'm gonna send this away, it's gonna get a 6. It's like now I have this hassle of trying to get a replacement through Topps, and am I gonna get the right card back? Am I gonna get the same card back, or am I gonna get like a card of equal value? And it's just like, I noticed that was a big problem. That's why I kind of slowed down with Bowman too. A lot of the Bowman cards I was opening, the quality was really poor. So it's disappointing when you're spending all this money and you can't even get it. I mean, I know it's not a just an easy process to do when you're printing all that stuff, but it's also something that should be addressed internally. It's got to be better. I mean, print lines on every single card, refractor, nail marks. There's always something.
I agree, Nick. Bowman was not good either. I forgot about that. And Mike says the Stars of the MLB insert is back. Our favorite. I just don't understand why they can't come up with something new.
Oh my God.
This
Somebody
has to be
look
the
up.
last year of that.
Man.
They have to retire that set after this year and come up with something else.
I think it was
it's so played
2019 had dynamic duos, and that was a 50 card insert set, and it was amazing set. That was a cool set. Like people wanted that card. People wanted that complete set. Come up with something new. Like these companies, there's some simple things that us collectors want. Substitute the Stars MLB for something new that's cool. Make it a bigger set since you're getting so many of them. And add a little value or a little cool factor. Because I remember one of those cards had Babe Ruth on it, and there might have been Jeter on there. Ichiro was with Ken Griffey Jr. There was some cool freaking cards. But just do something different. Stars MLB. You try to forget about that, and then it comes back. The one other thing I really wish they'd bring back short print cards. I mean, I was thinking today, I went for about an hour walk, had the tunes on, and I was thinking back to like about Otani and open up all that 2018 product and going, man, imagine with all these rookies this year having a base short print. Because the super short prints, the golden mirrors, are just too hard to hit. And when you do hit them, your chance of hitting a good guy is impossible. I missed the checklist of short prints of when you open up a case, you have a chance of getting, you know, a Churio short print. You know, somebody could become Otani one day and have that monster card. And but it's, you know, I don't know. It's hard. I just miss that so much. It's one thing. I know they have the HFAs. The HFAs don't have as good as pull. The quality control on those sucks too. They have the true variations, which I do like. But give me some rookie short prints, please.
Yeah, I don't want a golden mirror, you know, Miami Marlins card that I had to open 3 cases to get.
Yeah.
I'd rather open up a couple hangers of, you know, 22 update and get like even if I don't get the guy I want, get a Ken Griffey Jr. short print. Even those are cool, like the Legends or something like that. Like those were awesome. Like you said, like the golden mirror, they're cool and all, but they shouldn't be the like substitute to short prints. They should just be their own SSPs.
Dude,
like,
throw me in a Livy Dunn holding
yeah.
Paul Skeen's handlebar, man. Something, dude. Come on, that would be like the chase.
That's awesome.
Yeah, there's no mullet Bobby this year. There's no, you know, it's tough.
Yeah, you know, you mentioned, you know, some of these guys could be Otani. One thing I wanted to bring up, I don't want to, we can go back to 2024 update, but where do you guys think Otani is trending in terms of the hierarchy of where he'll be all time? I mean, this season has been epic from an offensive standpoint. Now, he didn't pitch this year, and that means if I don't know what the future will hold. Will he go back to pitching and hitting at the same time? I think so. But even if he just hit for the rest of his career, he would be so dominant or he could be, if he stays healthy, for a long time. And he's so versatile, even on the base path. So it's really interesting to see where do we think the hobby will go with Shohei Otani. I mean, it's already hyped to no end, but he's really cementing. If they get a championship this year with the Dodgers or something like that in the next couple of years, he's really cementing himself amongst rare air. I mean, I don't know. Do you guys have any Otani cards? I feel like at some point I want to go out and buy a few.
I mean, I have some like base rookie PSA 10s, but I don't have any of those crazy chrome rookie autos from like 2018 chrome or like Bowman chrome that some people have been sitting on. He's definitely in the stratosphere of his own. And just when you think his market can't go any higher, you know, hits 50 homers, 50 stolen bases. He goes 6 for 6 with 3 home runs, 10 RBIs in one game. I mean, it's like he just continues to set the bar even higher when it's almost physically impossible. So I don't know where the future. I mean, obviously, he's getting pretty close to that point where even if he gets hurt or something, he's already done something that's so substantial that you can never take it away from him, and he's like impacted the game in a way that's in some instances greater than like what Babe Ruth did or what some of these other greatest players of all time did. So, yeah, I don't know. Now, if you have like a serial numbered card that's 50 out of 50, those are going to go for more. It's like there's so many different. It's unbelievable. Like, so I've heard rumors that he might even be gearing up to pitch in the postseason. What if he comes in, closes out Game 7, like throws 102, like gets a Tops Now card? Like, what's like the possibilities are endless with Otani, and he's definitely in a league of his own, and he just seems to get better and better. I don't know.
His career WAR is 42.5 right now.
It's impressive. He
Where do
missed
you
that
think-
whole season too.
Where do you think he ends up in his career for WAR? Do you think he ends up above 90?
The way he's going, yes.
Yeah.
Because I mean, he's almost at 8 this year, and he's still adding to it. You add on him pitching and playing the outfield. Next thing you know, it's like it's incredible what the dude's doing. First of all, the Dodgers organization and GM, that contract was just the steal of the century. I know they're paying him a ton of money, but to not pay him up front and they're just cashing checks right now is incredible.
He's going to be paid until he's like 60.
It's insane. I as a Cubs fan, I'm so pissed because it's like the Cubs have the money to do the same thing that organization does, and they go cheap and don't make the playoffs. But just to see the dude hitting bombs, stealing bases, he's such a big guy too. Like people underestimate how big he actually is. And
he is tall.
I feel bad for the dude at the game that was reaching over that just missed that ball.
Oh my god!
And then they were scrumming down there. That's gonna be $1 million ball, I think. He better not got suckered in to turning that in for some playoff tickets and an autograph.
I don't think he did. I think I heard he walked away with it. I think I heard that.
I think he kept it.
He should have, I tell you that. But yeah, I had Otani on the list. One other thing I had on my list, for the most part, that I wanted to cover, I'm sure you guys have more, is that Topps Mercury basketball. You kind of mentioned it, John. Victor Wembanyama, $8,000 a box. I have it pulled up here. It has, I believe, 2 autographs. It's 8 cards in the box. 2 of them are autographs, encased numbered autographs. Or there's a 1 autograph that's number 99 or less, and then a chromium autograph that is 99 or lower, and then 2 base cards. Another parallel, 3 of them that are 99. They're all numbered. I saw Justin, who's in the chat, kind of hit me up on this too. He's all sports card investor there. Teapot and Jeff were saying that these boxes were going to go for $20K a piece. And I mean, do you risk it for the biscuit to try to buy one to resell? I'm sorry, guys. I ain't opening any at 8K.
So here's my thoughts on it. Again, I'll go back to what Sports Card Nonsense podcast talked about. I think they talked about his opinion on the box. Now, I know you're getting 2 guaranteed Wemby autos. 2 guaranteed Wemby autos, I believe, right? So the one thing he said about all the ones that were numbered to 99 or less, there are multiple variations of the same auto. So it's not like you can't calculate the print run from all the ones that are numbered 99 or less, because there may be 5 or 6 different varieties of the 99, and they're all numbered to 99. So there's actually more like 600 of these. So there's a lot more than you think. And at $8,000 a box, I just think when you have that many Wemby autos hitting the market, it's going to tank some of his prices, aren't there? There's only so many buyers for these prices at $1,500, $2,000 a pop for an auto. I mean, I know the one of one's probably going to go for a ton, or some of the other ones with LeBron on them are going to go for a ton, but some of these just seem like it's just a gimmick in a way. Like they put a CJ Stroud Wemby card together. I don't understand that one.
Yeah.
And then they have the David Robinson and Wemby card. Now I get they both played for the Spurs. They're both big men. But they couldn't put Tim Duncan on there because apparently he's a Panini exclusive. So.
I would like to see the odds to know how many boxes they made. If you said there was only 5,000 boxes made, that might change my perception. Yeah. But I bet you it's more like 20 to 30,000. You don't think so?
No, you might be right in that 4 to 5,000 range. I couldn't imagine them making that many of that product, but then again, they seem to hit the right total price point around a lot of these releases. They end up with about a $12 to $25 million total value to Fanatics if they sell everything. So at $8,000 a box, figure out how many you need to get 12 to 24 million. That's probably your number right there.
I don't know how you break up the cost. Like the breakers push these markets too, and I don't know how you break this because there's with only that 8 cards in there. I mean, what do you even at $1,000 a spot? That's $8,000. That's the price of the box. So let's say the boxes are 10,000. You got to charge well over that. There's not that many high rollers in this hobby to keep that going. So it's going to be hard to break.
It is. I think it would have been easier if there were more players in it. Transcendent works because it has lots of things. This just has Wembanyama with LeBron and CJ Stroud and David Robinson, and that's it. I don't think there's anything else with it. So it's like if Wemby's not your guy, I mean, you're right. How do you break this product? Like, how do you price the autos? And because you can't really divvy it up. It's all one player, more or less. No,
if you did like 100 people to break it up, you have 92 people who skunk.
Yeah. It's an odd one. I mean, I'm curious to see how it plays out. I think they're trying to get a similar product to a Transcendent in basketball, but maybe they just wait for Transcendent basketball to come out in two to 3 years. So I'll go back to what I said earlier. I'm not liking where the trend of these box prices are going because it's not going to make it very fun to open flagship basketball, which I was waiting for, because it's going to be $800 to $1,000 a box, and I'm not going to buy it. No way. Paper flagship better be in that paper flagship price range. Otherwise, I'm not touching it. And that's unfortunate because it probably is a fun product.
It's crazy. Nick's like, let's get off the basketball. Let's go to some more baseball.
I honestly just don't know much about the basketball products as much as you guys. So I didn't even know this box exists until you brought it up.
This Mercury product looks pretty sick if you look at it.
How many cards do you get in it?
It's 8 cards. 2 of them are encased autographs. And they're all numbered, and it looks awesome in my opinion. If this was a baseball product that had Shohei Otani in it, we would all be freaking oohing and on about this thing. But for $8,000, there's no way you're opening this thing. Like, who is opening this thing?
Well, at least with like Transcendent, you have a chance at like a Babe Ruth cut auto or like an Abraham Lincoln cut auto from some like document. Like, God forbid one of these players gets injured, like when Wembanyama like is out for this. I hope he's not, but what if he just like doesn't have a great year? Or, like you said, how many people like are willing to spend that much money on just these handful of players? It just seems too one-dimensional in my eyes. Like Transcendent, like you said, John, works because there's so many different players and all these different like variations and aspects to it, but that just sounds like a recipe for disaster. I don't know.
Yeah, I am curious to try for some of the other basketball products if they're a little better with more on-card autos and the photoshopping is a little better. The price point has to be right, though. Like the way the Chrome one came out, I mean, if you would have ordered on pre-order, don't open your box, but sell it, you could have made a hefty profit. But I would say they're coming out with Motif and they're coming out with some other products that are probably a little better than the Chrome product. Maybe not as sort of half-assed, but they're still non-licensed. But I don't know. I don't know what the play is on that. Like, I love guys, like I said early on, like I want to collect. But do I want to collect a Chrome unlicensed card of De'Aaron Fox, or would I rather just buy the auto that's licensed? That, by the way, his prices are shooting up. I'm not getting them for the same price as I was. I'm a little disappointed by that. I've lost.
It's about time. It's about time, man.
It's about damn time because he was one I just kept buying and buying and buying. Maybe I should be selling because I could make a lot of money right now.
Yeah, that's how I felt with. I was buying Bobby Witt for the longest time. Like KC Card Connection is in the chat, and I just felt like he was not getting any love until finally this year. It's like some players, like certain markets, just like Jackson Churio's having an unbelievable year, but you can get his cards for pretty dang cheap. Like, what's going on there? So,
yeah, maybe he has a great postseason run. Maybe that could change things.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was crazy. I just pulled up the Rookie of the Year leaders by odds on Fox Sports, and I was actually surprised to see that Merrill's overtaken Skeens now in the odds on their website. I don't know if that's all websites, and Chorio's number 3. And then here's what I was really surprised. I didn't realize the American League that how do you say Luis, the Yankees pitcher? Gil? G-I-L? How do you say his last name?
Gil?
Luis Gil.
He's the leader over Colton Cowser. He's at -155 and Cowser's +270. So I had no idea.
Did you say Luis Gil is a Rookie of the Year candidate this year?
That's what they have on their website.
Wasn't he a rookie in 2022?
He had a flagship rookie in 2022.
They have it. This is updated.
He was an 89 upper deck.
September 21st, 2024. I got it on Fox. I'll put the link in there.
I've got some refractors of his. I've got numbered cards.
That's what I thought so too.
Maybe I should sell them.
Jeez. Wow.
I think I
could
have
be
his
way
auto.
up on that. That's Fox, which is weird because I was surprised to see that name.
Yeah, when you said that, I was like, wait, are you talking about the Cy Young or are you talking about Rookie of the Year?
Rookie of the Year, man. I double checked. I was like, is this the right year? It said it's been updated September 21st.
That's crazy.
Wow.
The last I checked on the Cy Young,
I didn't know he was out. I don't know. Who knows?
Maybe maybe they put him in the product, but he never actually came up to the big leagues in terms of a full season. Maybe he got a call up and that was it. They've done that thing before where like they put a guy that gets 1 week of service time and then goes back down to the minors, and they didn't really play a full season to qualify for Rookie of the Year. So maybe it is legit, but it's funny. He had his Series 1 2022. He was in there. Bet MGM has him as well. Has him as the front runner over Austin Wells and Colton Cowser in the AL. That's
and then
funny.
let's see. And then they have Jackson Merrill up -250, Skeens +175. So he's on there. When I saw that, I was like,
wow, you're right. I just checked DraftKings. Austin Wells is in third, +400. Wow, who would have thought?
That's pretty wild.
yeah, he's kind of come on, I think, lately too. It's crazy. I have not kept up as much. I haven't watched as much baseball recently as I was watching. I've been busy. Been grinding away with school, both schools, and trying to work out and exercise more. So
Amari says Luis made a debut in 2021. That's probably why he was in the 2022 Series 1, and then he missed a lot of time due to Tommy John surgery, he believes. So this might be his actual official rookie year.
that's crazy.
That is funny. It's like the rookie year 2 years, 3 years later. That's so funny.
Yeah, that is wild. I've been watching a ton of baseball.
Here's my next question to you guys in the chat. Is it harder to win 120 games in the MLB, or is it harder to lose 120 in the MLB?
Earn.
Dude, the White Sox are on their way to losing
crazy.
120 games or more. They're
That's
bad.
unbelievable.
They're at 118 losses right now.
Oh my God, they're gonna blow that record out of the water.
That's brutality.
Break out the paper bags. I've already seen.
Dude,
And
I watched Zach Hampel, one of his videos, and he was at that game where there were like 97 people, and he was literally running. He was in right field. He was there for Trey Turner because I think he was going to hit whatever home run 100 or whatever. He was running from right field to left field and then back, and there was nobody out there.
And he was just jagging the home run balls?
He was trying to, but of course, during that game, I don't think there was any home runs hit.
Oh, man. That is funny, though, that you could actually do that. There's literally nobody in the outfield. Like
yeah, he was. Jeez, he was probably picking them off like a madman that day.
Yeah, man, it was crazy seeing nobody there, but the poor White Sox. But is KC Card Connections Royals gonna hold on to get in the wild card? They're on the verge of getting the boot out at 6 in a row losses, man. It's close in that American League. There's a lot of teams fighting that could still get in this last week.
Yeah, how about the Tigers coming out of left field? Where did they come from making a bid for the postseason? All the Twins. I mean, the Twins have been in there, but the Tigers came out of nowhere. I mean, with just the motley crew. I mean, geez.
So I have a question for you guys. Speaking of the Tigers, I have some numbered Tariq Skubal rookie cards. What do I do with them?
Hold them.
You think?
I'd keep holding them.
I was shocked when I went back through my box and I noticed that I had a number to 99 and a number to 150. And I was like, I can't believe I had these. And I saw that he was a Cy Young front runner. And I was like, do I grade these? Do I hold these or do I sell them? I'm very curious because I think even ungraded right now, I think the green would be about $25 and the blue would be like $20. So, but graded, I think you can get over 100.
I would hold just a tad longer. I'd look to see if he makes the playoffs and has an impact. And then if he does, maybe sell him here at the end of the season. Just wait a little bit longer at least. But had a hell of a season, man.
Get him graded because I couldn't get him back fast enough. I think they're both 10s.
That's one thing I've not kept up on either, guys. I have no idea who the contenders are for Cy Youngs right now. I haven't looked that up at all.
Chris Sale, I think, is front runner for the NL. I'm pretty sure he's having like an unbelievable comeback season. He's just been dialed in all year. And I guess the only other guy would be Wheeler behind him, but I think Chris Sale's a heavy favorite. I don't know about the American League. I know. Actually, I don't know. But
let me look at the betting odds on this one too. Thank God for Google.
Tariq Skubal is minus 5,000.
Oh yeah, what am I saying? Skubal. We were just talking about the guy.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
Yeah, Emmanuel Clase is
Skubal, man.
Yeah, Seth Lugo, Cole Reagans, Corbin Burns.
Yeah, Sales minus 3,000 on the NL, and Wheeler's not even. I mean, they're not even close. So, yeah, wait till he's announced as Cy Young, John.
Yeah,
and playoffs.
And you think sell it raw? I'm not going to get that graded in time.
Yeah, I would sell it raw unless you somehow sneak a couple in now, but you're kind of pushing it.
I think I'm playing with fire on that one.
Yeah.
I mean, if he does win a Cy Young, I mean, I know he's 26, so he's not a spring chicken, but he already had his Tommy John surgery, so technically he could be in for a pretty solid career. But pitchers are weird. Like, they'll have a great season, like Chris Sale, like you said, he's had a comeback season, but then you look back how he played with the Red Sox, and he was terrible.
Yeah.
He played with the White Sox, he was awesome. So pitchers go back and forth. It just depends on the situation. But I'm happy that I kept on to those cards, and I'm happy I know where they are. Because
that's funny. Go ahead.
No, I was going to say I was going to capitalize and get, combined, try to get like $35, $40 that I literally would have forgot about. So to me, it's like couch cushion money, right? You're just like, there's value in what I have. I just have to know that it's there.
Yeah, that's why it's important to know where your stuff is and know where to go. Whatever your system is, you got to know where to find your stuff.
I have a photographic memory. When I put stuff in a box, I usually know where I put it. But I don't always keep a great inventory other than graded cards. Like, I know where all those are. But when I put some flagship ones in a box, sometimes I forget. But I know they're in there, so I just got to keep looking, right? I'll keep hunting. Eventually, I'll find it.
Yeah, even if you're not putting together sets, you should definitely sort your cards by like year, product, or something like that.
Oh, I definitely do that. It's just
Yeah.
know in the box where it is.
Yeah, I'm not saying you individually. It's more to myself. I'm giving myself advice.
Yeah.
No,
It's easy,
but,
right? When you're
it's
opening
tough.
a lot of product, you forget how to collate these things.
It is.
I like to get these boxes here. I've had them. I got tons of them from the shelves in the past, and or when I was buying top loaders and sleeves. And I'll take, like, let's just use 2024 of, when you're pulling Ellie De La Cruz and Churios, where those are, right? Those are easy because you always have them in the grading pile and the good pile. I take all the other 2024 rookies and I put them in there, of all the not the base stuff, but like the numbered stuff and some good refractors. I'll put them in one area. That's why if somebody starts going off in 2024, I'll go just pull them out, and I'll have one of Bowman and one of Topps, and it's just easy to find that way.
Yeah, who thought Lawrence Butler was going to be a maniac on the diamond this year?
Yeah, exactly. Did you guys see what's happened to CJ Abrams?
I actually wrote that down. I wanted to bring that up.
No.
Hit him with it. Hit him with it, Nick.
So CJ Abrams got sent to the minors today, and at first I was like, why are they sending down CJ Abrams to the minors? He was an all-star this year. And then I found out that he was out at a casino until 8 in the morning the night prior to a day game. 8 in the morning he was out gambling and he got caught. And apparently it wasn't the first time. So they sent his ass to the minors, and that's not a good look if you're a big up and comer like him. So yeah, he was out until the crack of dawn just gambling, and sent him to the minors. They're not going to tolerate that. So pretty wild.
The next thing you're going to find is pitcher gets sent back to the minors because he was breaking on Fanatics Live until
Matt Strom was opening cards and he fractured his left pinky, so he's no longer with the team.
I mean, it's possible. What was the guy from the Packers? AJ Dillon. He was a breaker.
Yeah. I remember
Oh,
that.
really? I didn't know that.
He was a running back for the Packers, and he broke cards on the internet as a side gig.
Oh,
I'm
my
like, this
God.
dude is a professional athlete, and
They
he's
caught him in the janitor. They caught him in the janitor's closet after hours under a lamp, just slinging cards and on whatnot. You're supposed to be sleeping, buddy.
It's hilarious what some people do in their free time just for entertainment. Like he knew a lot about cards. Like he was interviewed by somebody, and he'd been doing it for quite a while, and he had quite a good collection too.
I saw Josh Young is getting into cards. Before this
Yeah.
video, I was watching that YouTube video of him opening a 2011 update with Trout and kind of like nerding out on cards. That was pretty cool. If you haven't had a chance to check that out, it was a fun watch. Josh Young, I guess he's starting up like a channel or something. He did into cards, so that was a fun watch.
Yeah, and I think Wyatt Langford's mom says she's buying every single one of his cards.
Oh, no way.
Yeah, so she's trying to hunt down every single Wyatt Langford card ever made.
Wow,
You
that's crazy.
You better start hitting.
Well, there's a lot of parents that do that, because some parents from a ball player actually bought cards from me before.
Oh, yeah.
Like I remember selling cards, and I'm like, why am I selling this to the guy that bought the card is the name on the card? Like, what's going on here? And so I looked it up, and I'm like, it's his dad.
Yeah. I had that happen too. It's crazy.
I'm like, it's such a small world.
Especially
like,
with
I pull a card, and the next thing you know, I'm selling it to the player's dad.
Especially with Bowman. Bowman is a big product like that, where the families and the friends, they all buy, high school players who play with that person. They buy that card and get it. And then it's pretty cool to see that. There's a lot more to this hobby than a lot of people think,
I mean, as much as we dogged Fanatics for increased prices and, increased print runs, it is fun to see that the way they've portrayed this evolution of how they're partnering with the leagues, that they're getting people in the league legitimately interested in the hobby, and not just from a financial perspective, but just because for the love of collecting or the love of hunting. And I think that can be good in the long run. Maybe not to you don't want to emulate it to try and keep up with the Joneses. Don't go, buying every one of your favorite players' cards, but don't feel bad about it, right? I probably have 200 De'Aaron Fox rookie cards in my collection. A lot of them are graded now. And I had sent an order to PSA, and like 2/3 of that order are his cards. And they're all low numbered. I don't even know if De'Aaron Fox is into cards, but when they get the basketball license, if he's into cards, I'd be happy to sell him all my cards. The right price.
Come here, buddy.
There you go.
I'll be rich. I'll be a really wealthy man.
You will
cash them in, John. Cash them in. Keep one you really like. Cash them in.
I have 3 Silver Prism PSA 10s now, and I have 4 Optic Purple PSA 10s.
That's pretty good.
I have multiples of a lot of decent cards of this.
That's when they didn't make a ton of silvers either.
Oh yeah, 2017 they didn't make a lot. I think PSA 10 pops less than 1,000, and I've got 3 of them. So, and the Optic Purple PSA 10 pop though is only like 90, and I've got 4 of them.
We have not been on since Fanatics Fest. I had that way at the bottom since we didn't talk about it. Thoughts on all you guys? Thoughts on your perspective? None of us were there from far away. What were your thoughts on Fanatics Fest?
Yeah, I mean, I didn't go, but from what I saw from like the footage on like the Instagram stories, just the high ticket, the high profile celebrities and, high profile people that Michael Rubin was able to bring all under one roof. And not even just, it wasn't just card related. It was, radio shows, or it was, sports ESPN, or it was UFC, Dana White. He had all these different panels going on, all these different, interactive exhibits, Tom Brady throwing passes to kids, Gronk, spiking slabs. Just, it definitely, I don't know if it was the smartest idea, but it definitely brought some buzz to the hobby, which can't hurt. I mean, I guess it can hurt, but it brought a lot of eyeballs to the hobby. I mean, Libby Dunn was there looking at cards, like trying to like get under disguise, like in disguise, like trying to negotiate for Paul Skeen's cards. Like, he definitely knows how to like market the hobby and bring the right people to the table. So I thought it was a really cool event. I mean, I didn't go, but from what I heard, and I talked to some people that did go, they seemed like, they had a really cool, like, fun time. And yeah.
I echo a lot of what you said. I didn't go either, but it seemed like many people had a great time. The one thing I think, and I know we got another Fanatics event coming up in Orlando. Fanatics Collects is having their first like official card show, which is not Fan Fest, but it's just a card show. And the one thing that they're doing at many of these card shows or even these events is doing exclusive product drops that you can only get there. And they brought in the people from the Comic-Con and some of the other industries that already do these things. It's great that they're doing this because it creates a lot of buzz and hype, and it creates demand. Now, the one thing that I would say, I'm a little skeptical about is, and it's maybe not even skeptical, but where are they going to have these future events? And am I going to be able to go to them without dropping an arm and a leg to get there? Like, I was not about to go to New York City.
No shot.
I am not about to go to Los Angeles to go to a card show or a Fanatics Fan Fest. But I would go to one if it was in Chicago or Detroit or or Indianapolis for that matter, or Nashville, Tennessee, because it's a close drive. Like, I hope they make it regional enough to where much of the country can get to it by just driving there. Like, New York was great for the East Coast people, but that was not great for people in Indiana or Illinois or even, Colorado or West. That's expensive. And I don't know. But I think it was a great time. Like, I think they did a great job with the, what did they call them? The, not the experiences, but the, I forget what they called them. Never mind. Forget what they called them. That was like not an experience. It was something else.
Yeah,
Anyway.
like the fan interaction stuff. From afar, it looked really cool. The venue looked amazing. If you're into being around the stars, and you want to go and gaga over those guys, I mean, it'd be cool. Don't get me wrong. It'd be cool watching Tom Brady talking to a vendor. But let's put to rest that is not putting the National out of business, because it really,
No. Yeah.
Because I heard a lot of people say, "Oh, the Fanatics is going to run the National out of business." It's not even a card show. I would like to know how those guys did. I don't think they did very well, because people, Card Collector 2 didn't have a line of buying the whole time and selling. I think they were kind of slow, but the experience was cool. It was fun seeing. But I don't feel like I would ever go to that unless it was close. Yeah. I would go to a national in New York City. I would go to a national in California possibly, but I don't think I would go to the Fanatics Fest the way it is, because I'm not into buying jerseys. I'm not into that. I don't need the stars to make my weekend an experience. I just like sports cards and memorabilia.
Now, going back to the Fanatics Collect, I can't remember if I closed the loop on that one. So the Fanatics Collect event will actually have some exclusive product that you can only get at that Orlando event too. I'm curious if they're going to do more Fanatics Collect events, and that would not necessarily compete with the National. It just augments what's already there. Probably puts pressure more on like Dallas and the Burbank show and other places like that happen more often, because it'll get a little diluted. But if they bring this exclusive product to sort of add a chase element to want to be there because there's some kind of reward there, I think that could be good for people as an incentive to go, as long as it's available to a lot of people. You don't want people fighting over that in the parking lot like they did at Target a few years ago, even though that had nothing to do with the product. That actually had something to do with something else.
Yeah.
Like, they make it seem like it was, they were fighting over a mega box. No, they were not. They were fighting over the fact that the guy went back to go confront them. That's what they were fighting over.
Yeah.
And they didn't like that. So,
right.
Like, if he would have just walked away, nothing would have happened. So they didn't fight over the mega box.
No.
What other topics do you guys have?
The only thing I had on my topic was NFL 2 weeks in. Any thoughts? Have the Bears made a bad decision with Caleb Williams as their quarterback? I know they're playing the Colts this week, which I could go to the game tomorrow. I could go drive down to the game, but I probably won't. And I'm very curious to hear your thoughts about the Bears now that they're run by Caleb Williams.
First of all, the Bears, I am a realist, which is perfect for sports, because you don't get high on your emotions. And I had all these Bear fans, and again, I'm a Bears fan, all excited that they're going to be awesome. And I told them they're probably going to suck. They're just like the Cubs before new ownership. You should have fired your coach. You should have fired the GM. Needs to sell the team, and they're going to suck. And they're worse than I actually thought they were going to be. They might, by the end of the year, they might be the worst team in the NFL, because they should not have won that first game. That offensive line is freaking terrible. And so the Bears are terrible.
Yeah, I'm very curious to see what happens tomorrow because Indy can't stop the run. But like you said, the Bears have no offensive line. So
they can't block.
They're either going to sack them 5 times or more and make them turn the ball over, or DeAndre Swift is going to have one hell of a game tomorrow.
The frustrating part for me is, look, I'm an average, just a Joe Schmo who watches a lot of football games. But this team, this coaching staff, that offense looks so pathetic. Even last year, they were terrible last year. They're terrible this year. Get somebody who can run an offensive scheme. NFL football is no longer about defense, really. It's about moving the football, getting first downs, and scoring points. And it helps having a good defense. And the Bears have a coaching staff that's terrible. I saw a couple breakdowns this week of some scheme things on TikTok, and oh my God, it's so bad. It's really bad. It's hard to watch. It's going to be a long season. But somebody says the Panthers are worse. Dude, how about Tua? Tua may never play again. People with his card should be selling those immediately, in my opinion.
Yeah, that's sad, man. I don't think he should play ever again.
Dude, he's had some rough ones.
Yeah, you see, like, the way his hand, like, was convulsing again. Like, and it wasn't even like it was a crazy bad hit, I didn't think. I feel like he kind of ran into the guy's chest, and it was almost like he's got that glass jaw now. He's got that, like, once you get popped once, like in fighting, you just, like, you get that one point where it just, like, you just drop like a sack of potatoes.
Yeah, I agree. It's sad to see. It's very scary, the kind of concussions that he's gotten, where it seems like such a neurological issue. Like in the immediate sense, like he loses control. Like guys get concussions, they get up. You know, Troy Aikman got plenty of concussions throughout his career, and I think he even left early because of it. But not that kind of concussion. Like that's the kind of concussion that feels like it has a long-lasting effect, and that's not good. I really hope that he makes the right decision for himself and his family. I think he's very talented. I think he's a good dude, but man, you just hate to see that. I mean, I know Aaron Rodgers even dealt with that early in his career. Many people said, "Oh, Aaron Rodgers had another concussion," and then he didn't have one for a long time. But he didn't have that kind of concussion where it feels like he's just one step away from like being paralyzed or some crazy thing like that.
Literally.
And that's not good.
Quality of life comes into
Brett again.
3 strikes and you're out, Brett.
Brett keeps I don't know what did his iPhone run out of charge? Maybe it did.
Maybe. We've been going for
an hour and a half. I always plug mine in. So
I had to plug mine in because mine was down to like 20%.
We'll see if he joins us. Otherwise, we can just end the live. I can answer a question on is it Ebtide 33? Caitlin Clark. I know Peds, you're not a basketball person, but Caitlin Clark for the Indiana Fever, they've had one hell of a second half of the season here, and she has been on fire. And this city is falling in love with Caitlin Clark as a player. They're cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. They're going gaga over Caitlin Clark. I mean, I think she absolutely made the right. Wow, look at that!
Whoa! Happy New Year!
She absolutely made the right call going to the WNBA because she's just the way that this city has embraced her, and even the league now. She's becoming a mega star, and that's fun to see. And I think my wife asks me all the time, like, why can't I go buy a Caitlin Clark card? I'm like, I don't even know which one I should tell you to buy. But we actually do have a Caitlin Clark rookie in our collection now. We did buy one at the last card show, but we didn't pay that much for it. But I would not hesitate to buy more of her Indiana Fever cards at the right price, because I think she's on the cusp of having a really special career.
She's had a heck of a rookie campaign, man.
Oh, especially the second half. That team was 1-8 at one point, and now they finished the season 500 and made the playoffs. That team was garbage early in the season, and they were like, "What? This team sucks." And then they've been 19-12 down the stretch, so they've been a lot better than they have been, and you never know what can happen.
Yeah, she's a star.
She's a mega star around this city now.
The WNBA did a really, really poor job.
They should have marketed her a lot more than they did.
The USA Olympics too, and the schedule early in the season and the way they've let the officials just beat her up on the on the court. It's insane. But
yeah, she's great with the community here too. There's really not much bad you can say about her. I think I'm glad the city has her. I mean, Tyrese Halliburton goes to every game. I watch the news and they show the highlights, and Tyrese Halliburton's going nuts over on the sideline, and it's just it's cool that these two are embracing each other, because one plays for the Pacers and the other one plays for the Fever. They play in the same arena, and you hope that when the season's over for the Fever, that she returns the favor and goes to his games, because I think that'd be really special for the city as a whole. And this is a basketball city, so I think she's in the perfect spot.
So, what else you guys got?
How about Jacob deGrom coming back to the Diamond? Thought that was pretty cool. Bittersweet for me to see, but I mean, he hadn't pitched in 532 days, and he was just lights out his first two outings. I know he gave up one solo shot, but I mean, that he's the best pitcher in the world when he's healthy. I hope he can stay healthy for the rest of his career. Also with baseball, Julio Rodriguez heating up in a big way. So don't give up on Julio Rodriguez. Those were two other points I had written down. So Julio just his 19th home run. He's got 3 home runs in the series against the Rangers. I mean, he's still so young and still super talented. So I wouldn't just jump ship on Julio.
I was gonna say, I was so down on Pete Crow Armstrong. I was this dude's terrible, and he made a nice second half of the year. And the same thing right now with Jackson Holliday. He's bad. And
I'm so pissed.
You can't count him out though, because give him another year, give him some at bats, give him another spring training, and he's gonna get another chance. It's just, dude, it's harder to hit than you think, and some guys look like they're clueless. I really didn't think Pete Crow could hit a fastball. Though both at the end of last year and this year, it's man, he's bad. And then he's come back and he's shown he's a productive hitter now. Is he going to be a star? Yeah. I don't know, but at least he's looking like he can hit, because for a while he couldn't hit. He was bunting every single time because he couldn't hit.
Yeah, man, it's not easy for these 20-year-old kids to come up in the bright lights all the time, and got all these expectations. This huge prospect, and you're expected to hit the ground running, and it's just, if you don't, get off to a hot start, I'm sure it could just be a huge, more of a mental battle, even as opposed to a physical battle. You definitely have all the tools to get there, but it's got to be tough. And like you were saying, with the level of the pitchers, I mean, pitchers are better than they've ever been in today's game. There's no doubt about it. There's nobody throwing 90-mile-an-hour cookie fastballs down the middle. You're either hitting spots or they're throwing 100 plus. So it's with the analytics, it's crazy.
I think that's been a big hot topic right now, because so many pitchers are getting hurt. But like you said, the pitchers are better, and it's because they're going max velocity every freaking pitch. It's nasty. It's putting stress. So And if it's only for 5 innings, most of these guys aren't going. They're going 5 innings, and then you get a fresh new guy who's got some other nasty 100-mile-an-hour freaking slider or whatever they're throwing. It's insane, some of these pitches, and you see why it's so hard to hit, because every dude is bringing gas that comes in. I mean, I don't know how they hit these dudes.
Except the
and
guy
then Otani hits 50 bombs, and Judge is hitting bombs.
Yeah, there's some firepower in MLB. It's a fun time to watch, man. Playoffs are gonna be fun.
Yeah,
Who do you think's gonna win the World Series?
Was MLB playoff talk.
Who do you guys think's gonna win the World Series?
I don't know, man. That's a tough one. There's a lot. I want to say the Dodgers, but their pitching just is a little bit scary.
Yeah, no Glass now. He's hurt the rest of the year.
Yeah, it's just, I don't know. There's a big toss up, man.
Yeah,
there's a lot of teams that could come out of nowhere.
Definitely.
Maybe it's going to be the Guardians' year to break the streak.
As long as it's not
happening.
Philly. I mean, I always want to say Milwaukee, but I'm just not convinced they ever do anything in the playoffs. But I would love to see them make a run. They don't have a stacked roster in terms of stars, but they got a lot of good pieces. They can pitch. They've got the only unfortunate thing is they did give away Corbin Burns. So they could have had him too if they wanted to pay him.
Yeah, that's too bad.
They would probably been a little bit better than they are, but they've just got such a good farm system right now. A lot of young depth, a lot of good pieces they've added. They added William Contreras as a catcher, Rhys Hoskins. I know he's getting near the end of his career, but they added some pieces, and I think they're valuable pieces. So I'm very curious to see what happens with the Brewers. I don't expect them to win. I don't expect them to make the NLCS, but man, it would be cool to see. That's what I'm rooting for.
I saw a stat with the Brewers, like their bullpen's one of the best, and their rotation. I mean, when you look, there's only one team in the NL that's allowed less runs, and that's the Braves. But dude, the Brewers, when they get to their bullpen, they win games. They don't blow saves.
Yeah, the biggest reason they lose postseason games is their bats go super cold, and they only score like 1 or 2 runs. So
that's the thing in the playoffs. You need big hitters to come up, and that's
they don't have
baseball. The big hit, because it's tough to do with guys.
They just don't have it, and Yelich I think is still hurt, even though he's not what he was a couple years ago. But that's a roster with a lot of parity that has a lot of pieces around it. But I don't know. I'm going to root for them, but I don't think they're going to win anything.
Yeah, this playoff season is going to be fun. There's a lot of teams. I mean,
yeah, just looking down the list, anything can really happen. I mean, even the Padres aren't out of it.
Yeah, I mean,
and even the Diamondbacks aren't out of it.
If you're in it, you can win. I don't look at any team and say, man, they can't win it.
Let's go Mets.
The Mets are. You get 2 wild cards, right? So
3.
Three. So you got the Mets, the Padres, and the D-backs.
Yeah, I mean they still have to go through the Braves and stay in that spot. But yeah, it's anybody's spot.
It's anybody's guess in the NL and the AL. It could be the Yankees' year, really.
It could be. Yeah.
You'd say the Orioles because they underachieved in the playoffs last year.
They've been playing like garbage.
But
they don't. I don't think they're gonna
maybe that postseason experience will come in handy. I don't know. It's just a thought. Don't count them out. Guardians, Indians, whatever you want to call them. They're like the Brewers. They don't have super duper stars, but they got good pieces, good solid pieces. Jimenez, Ramirez. Who's the other guy? I'm blanking on Stephen Kwan. They got some good pieces. So, shoot, anything can happen. Anybody but the Astros. I don't want to see the Astros do anything.
The Astros just keep finding a way, man. They developed some great talent.
They do.
Now they got Kyle Tucker back in the lineup, and he's a big reinforcement. I mean, he's a huge bat in the middle of the lineup. He's experienced after all these years. He's been in the playoffs. He's been around. He knows what it takes. Jordan, Bregman, they got that core group, and then they always seem to get a couple guys that get hot, and they got that experience.
Yeah.
I hope they don't win. I don't want to see them.
I don't want to see them win again. Anybody but them.
But well, we've been going a long time, man. Hour and 45.
Yeah.
Longest show in a while.
Wow.
That might be a record breaker, actually. But it was worth it. It's been a while since we've been on.
We've been trying to go to the marathon that Sports Card Radio does, where they go 4 hours and 13 minutes, and I don't think I could do that.
No.
Yeah.
No, I don't think I'm ready for that. And he said, Mike said in the chat, Josh Naylor's also had a really good year.
Yeah.
30 home runs, 100 RBIs, so that's really solid. Like I said, anything can happen. I actually would just have to look at who has the best pitching staff and who has the best 4 starters to pitch or 3 starters, depending on how you sequence the games. That probably matters most. So.
Oh, man. What a fun time.
Yeah.
Thanks for coming on, guys. It's good to see you. It's been a long time.
It has been. Brett? I am good for tonight. I think it's up to you to take us out.
Yeah, thanks again, everybody, for all the chat. If you're watching later, hit that thumbs up. Make sure you check out Ped's channel, John's channel, Every Sports. They're both there. Even though we haven't been grinding as much, we'll still be around. And until next time, peace.